Welcome everyone to Karmic Dynasty once again. Now, I am doing something different today on my platform. So I am here. I am also here on my cell phone to share visually the astrological dice and demonstrate how to use them according to the book. So the book you see here as when you came in. Everyone, welcome again to Karmic Dynasty, including the audiences of Khepra Ptah over on Facebook and the audience of Tribe Up 777999 of Abdiel Ben Levi L on YouTube. So here, this set is why we are here today. So the book is called Introducing the Astrological Dice by Victoria Akins. Now, interested in the set, get your astrological dice today. You'll need to email Michael Coles. His email address is in the ticker below, going across your screen. Now, as I promised, I did a recording and checked my sound. It sounded great. I was not live, however. So if there are sound issues, let me know and I'll make adjustments as necessary. I appreciate you. I appreciate you all. Okay, so let me move this. All right. So in the book, I am here to actually demonstrate and promote this product. This product will be used during my astrological series, a sip of tea, a sip of astrology. And you'll see that cover every time it's an astrology broadcast, and you most likely may see these dice. So, and I promised everyone I'd share how this works. So here we go. The astrological dice are 12-sided dice. So each dice is 12 sides. Hold it. You have the 1, and I promised a lot on the 5, and the 11, and you keep turning it over, and the 12, for example. And that's the numbers. That dice represents the houses in astrology. Now, next is the planets. Here, the green one. So you see, okay. So this is Uranus. This one is the south node. And there's also the north node on here. This represents Pluto, the P, and south node, north node. Here we have Venus. Okay, so these are 12 sides. This is on the side is 12 sides. Let me see. Oh, okay, this die also has on it the sun and the moon. And Earth is one of the 9 planets, but Earth is not used in astrology in the manners of how it will be here today. And so the 8 planets, the sun, the moon, the north node, and south node, that's 12. Okay. And so next is the Zodiac dice. It has the Zodiac symbols, and there are 12 of those. Here, the blue one. Okay, we have Pisces. Which way I'm going with this? Okay. Taurus. Okay. So 12 signs. Pisces. So all 12 signs are on each one of the blue dice. So the green dice holds the planet and the sun and the moon and the north node and the south node. The black dice has the 12 houses on it. This black dice is numbered 1 through 12. Okay, all right, moving forward. So the astrological dice are 12-sided, used in the art of astrological astrogalomancy. So the astrogalomancy I have here, and it reads, the astrogalomancy, also known as cubomancy or astrogyromancy, is a form of divination that uses dice, specially marked with letters or numbers. Historically, as with dice games, the dice were usually knuckle bones or other small bones of quadrupeds, marked astrogali. Talus bones of sheep and goats are common at Mediterranean and Near Eastern astrological sites, particularly at funeral and religious locations. For example, marked astrology have been found near the altar of Aphrodite Urania in Athens, Greece, suggesting astrogalomancy was performed near the altar after about 500 BC. The practice of containing divine truth via random castings of dice or bones stretches back before recorded history. The Metropolitan Museum of Art displayed bone dice, Hakata, used by the Shona people of southern Africa. They have been in use for thousands of years and remain extant. So over here, we see this used for gaming purposes in Mongolia. So let's go down to here in ancient Greece. There's photos here too of the Greek women playing knuckle bones. So that's the astrogalomancy used to perform in ancient Greece through the rolling of the astrogoli here, like in playing jacks. These are examples. And subsequent constellation of dice oracles. Tables of divination results carved into statues or monoliths. They are marked and cut off knuckle bones of sheep or similarly shaped imitations in bronze or wood that served as divination dice in the ancient Greek world. They had 4 sides and were oblong in shape with 2 rounded sides, so they would not land on those sides, et cetera, et cetera. Go check more out for yourself. And we're going back here to the dice. Now, and I'm reading from the book at this time. The astrological dice come in sets of 3. We already showed those. We have the planets dice. And the planets dice includes the moon, the sun, the north node, and the south node. And then the zodiac dice, the blue one. And then there's the houses die, the black one. When cast together, each die represents a different aspect of your fortune. The planets die, the green one, represents the astrological planets, setting the stage for the answer to your question. It describes the subject, such as the who or what is involved as your answer reveals itself. The following symbols appear on the sides of the planet's die, and I briefly went over them earlier. I'll say them all together now, though. The sun, the moon, Mercury, Venus, Mars, Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, North Node, South Node. Now, if anyone wants to have a live reading and I cast the dice and answer your particular question, then put the question in the comments section and we'll see how this goes. And let me see. In the how to cast the dice section, it says, while the dice can be interpreted as answering with degrees of positive and negative responses to simple yes, no questions, the simple choices between multiple options. They provide the most interesting responses to complex and open-ended questions. For instance, you might ask any of the following questions of the dice and use them to interpret the results. Example 1. This is a yes or no response reading from the dice. Should I go out on a date with Bachelor A? Next is a multiple choice example given when reading the dice when cast. Should I go out on a date with Bachelor A, Bachelor B, or Bachelor C? Last, I have an example of a complex open-ended question from the dice when cast. What will be the outcome of going out on a date with Bachelor A? So you ask your question and you'll either ask it in a yes or no format, a multiple choice format, or a complex open-ended format, per the example I just gave. Now, that's so everybody can get their questions together, if you're going to ask any. I'm continuing forward. The Zodiac dice, the blue one, provides insights concerning how your scenario will unfold. So this die displays the 12 zodiac symbols on its faces: Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, Leo, Virgo, Libra, Scorpio, Sagittarius, Capricorn, Aquarius, and Pisces. Moving forward to the description on the houses die, the black one. The houses die has the numbers of the houses from 1 to 12 on them. Generally, houses deal with the area of your life, which will be affected by future events. So the 1 on this die represents self. The number 2 represents wealth. See that? Okay. The number 3 represents communication. Number 4 represents family. Number 5 represents pleasures. Number 6 represents health. Number 7 represents partnerships. Number 8 represents death. So as you see these come up, you'll know what's coming ahead in your answer when the dice are cast. Number 9 represents philosophy. Is that the 9? Yeah, it's turned to 9. To y'all, it's upside down. Okay. Number 10 represents prestige. Number 11 represents friendship. And number 12 represents self-undoing. Number 12 represents self-undoing. All right, so now we're going into the section of the book that I read briefly so you can prepare your questions. If we're going to have dice cast today and read live, answering your questions. So how to cast the dice. And also, you may not be here to ask a question. You may be here to hear more details about these astrology dice, as people have asked me. So you will know how to prepare yourself when you get them. Now, again, you want your own astrological dice. Of course you do. Contact Michael Coles. His email address is in the ticker below. Phoenix Jean, I appreciate you being here, and everyone else that's here. Interesting. I had not seen these or known of these until Michael Coles came on Karmic Dynasty, and the video was in the Karmic Dynasty playlist labeled Michael Coles. And he actually has been on Karmic Dynasty maybe 3 or 4 times before he brought them to the attention of the platform. And he actually had giveaways that day. So I think he gave away 2 sets of these dice. He also gave away sets of his the Velo Basset, the Kemetic Tarot deck, and he gave away a few of the Tayet amulets, protection amulets. So yeah, it's interesting. I again brought these to the platform for people to see, and surprisingly, Phoenix Jean, you and I were not the only ones who these were new to. So going into the book part that talks about how to cast the dice. To cast the astrological dice, concentrate on or speak aloud a particular question while holding the dice. Cast the dice on a flat, level surface. Flat and level surface. The symbols showing on the top of the 3 dice contain the answer to your query. So ask your question, roll the dice, and the 3 that appear on top are the 3 you're going to use to answer your question. The 3 images that appear on top, these will be used to answer your question. Look up the meaning of the 3 symbols displayed on the top of the dice in the following pages to interpret your answer. So you'll need the book. Again, when the dice can be interpreted as answering, let me start over because I read this earlier. Yes, they are nice. I'm glad to have mine. And I've shared them on some of my broadcasts just visually. And I need to do my homework and figure them out so I can bring them to the platform and promote them and do a demo. So I'm here today doing this. And I guess my sound is good because nobody's responded. So I'm glad this is working out. Because again, this is my first time doing such a setup. All right. Back to the paragraph I've read before, I am now going to read again. While the dice can be interpreted as answering with degrees of positive and negative responses to simple yes or no questions, and simple choices between multiple options, they provide the most interesting responses to complex and open-ended questions. For instance, you might ask any of the following questions of the dice and use them to interpret the results. So, yes or no, should I go out on a date with Bachelor A? This will tell you the answer. Whatever you roll on the dice, the top 3 images gives you your answer. Multiple choice, should I go out on a date with Bachelor A, Bachelor B, or Bachelor C? So far we have yes and no responses to your questions. Well, your yes or no question, This is your yes or no response. Or you could ask a multiple choice question and get your response. Or you can ask the complex open-ended questions such as, what will be the outcome of going out on a date with Bachelor A? Now, I don't know. Yeah, we're gonna see. We're gonna roll through to the end, and then I'm gonna make a decision. Which, no, I'm not gonna go in there right now. Okay, interpreting the dice. When interpreting the dice, each die should be looked at individually. The combination of all three dice reveals your answer. So the first dice, the planet's dice. It's green one. With the north node, the south node, the moon and the sun, along with the 8 planets, because we're excluding Earth. That's 12-sided dice. The planets dice, the first one. So the first one you're going to look at is the green one when you go to answer your question. This one first, the green one. This represents the subject, the who or what involved in your answer. Each planet has its own distinct powers over destiny. Okay, in the dice reading, the sun represents life force, along with self-identity, along with the self-identity, personal power, there you go, self-esteem, creative expression, sense of purpose, pride, leadership, authority, health, strength, and spontaneity. The sun casts out darkness and doubt, bringing clarity and vitality to any situation. The light of the sun, knowledge, dispels the darkness of ignorance and replaces fear with certainty and direction. Okay. Next, we have the moon. And I'm just do a few of these as an example of in the dice reading. So in the dice reading, the moon represents the inner nature, the strongest of emotional attachments and emotional expressions, intuition, fluctuating areas of life, nurturing. Hold on. So y'all can see them better. Nurturing and personal security questions. When the moon appears in answer to your question, it can refer to the nurturing women in your life, such as a mother, grandmother, boss, mentor, or any close female friend or relative who provides emotional, psychological, or spiritual support to you. Mercury. Oh, let me see what we got. Oh. Okay. Get some clarity. And I'm looking for Saturn in this Saturn glyph. And Saturn, in the front of the book is a table of contents. So I'm going up here in the front. Saturn is on page 17. So I'm flipping to page 17. And this is the last planet's dice we're going to look at today. 17. Okay, Saturn. And the description is on page 18. In a dice reading, Saturn is Father Time. He represents the passage of time and the stability and wisdom that comes with it. It can represent father figures in your life. Okay, cool. So we got the mother figure and the father figure and the son. Ain't that something? Okay. How this worked out in the book and me moving forward. So he represents the passage of time and the stability and wisdom that comes with it. It can represent father figures in your life, a sense of duty and commitment, boundaries, hierarchies, and social structures, ambition, career, and authority. It also foretells significant life-changing events. So when reading the dice, we read the planet first. So we're going to scoot that over here. Okay. Next is planets. Yeah. So next is the Zodiac dice. The Zodiac dice is the blue one. So when you're doing your reading and answering your question, you're going to read the dice from green to blue to black. That's the order. Hold on. Green to blue to black. All right. And we're going to do 3 of the Zodiac dice. So we got Pisces up here. So I'm going to go back to Pisces in the book. All right. Now, when it comes to these dice and answering your question, with the dice, Pisces represents the compassionate nature, gentle, intuitive, wise, artistic, and musically gifted. The flip side of Pisces is an overly trusting yet fearful, timid nature, suffers from bouts of sadness and a desire to escape reality. Pisces is known for playing the role of the victim or the martyr. Hold on, did I say Pisces? That's Cancer. Okay, well, let's go read Cancer. I know y'all like, what's she talking about? My bad, I was somewhere else. Cancer. Cancer represents, in this book, it's associated with persistence, intuition, imagination, loyalty, caution, emotionality, sympathy, and persuasiveness. And one more. Oh, okay. All right, so now we find this. Capricorn is on page 47. So I'm almost at page 47. And 47 reads, Capricorn is associated with ambition, practicality, responsibility, hard work, common sense, patience, and a strong sense of organization. On the other hand, on the other side, Capricorn avoids risk and is associated with stinginess, often exuding a rigid and unapproachable aura. Ugh. All right, so was that 3? That was 3 because I accidentally read Pisces for Cancer. All right, then next you would read the black die, which represents the houses. Okay, green, blue, black. That's how we read them. So houses, we got 10 up here. So, okay, let me read did I read the? Okay, back to the Zodiac dice right quick. The intro, the book says for that chapter. The Zodiac dice. Zodiac die provides insights into how events in your answer will unfold. So you ask your question. This one provides the insight into how the events in your answer will unfold. Now, the house die, the black one, represents the area of your life which is affected by your question. This one represents the area of your life which is affected by your question, providing additional information and detail to the response you received from the other 2 die. So that statement alone lets me know that I got these dice reading in the correct order. Green, blue, black. A little fuzzy, but they right there. Okay. In this section, we'll look at the meaning of these dice. This die. Okay, so we got the 10th house up here. So let me go down to the 10th house in the book. It's on page 71. And the 10th house, the 10th house is the natural home. Okay, excuse me now. The 10th house is the natural home to both Saturn and Capricorn. The 10th house. In a natal chart, for example, Scorpio or Pluto in this house suggests you may be obsessed with power and dominance in your field of choice, and that you can really transform it for either better or for worse. When the 10th house appears next to either Saturn or Capricorn, it intensifies the quality of your answer. Okay, we're going to do 3 of these also. So we have 11 next. Yeah. 11, house, the 11th house. It is in, hold on. Okay. It is in this house that you become part of a whole, house 11, to accomplish something larger and to achieve greater fulfillment. It also includes the benefits and fortune you receive from these social constructs. In a natal chart, this house, house 11, shows the types of friends you attract. It also depicts how you make friends, that which you project onto them, how you relate to them, and how you guide them. One more house. 4. The 4th house. And in the book, it's on page 59. Okay. This house includes early development, such as childhood conditioning, your childhood home, domestic affairs, and inner securities. The 4th house also includes childhood relationships with your parents, especially your mother figures, and other caretakers. Sometimes the father is represented here because family origins often begin with the father's last name. In some circumstances, this 4th house represents the hidden parent. So that's 3 of those. And some sample questions in the book as an example, and we might roll it this way. What kind of job is best for me? That's a good question. A lot of people ask those type of questions. Where is my happiness? What type of person is the best fit for me? What is my weakness? Excuse me, y'all, hold on. Okay. Will I move to New Jersey permanently in the next year? I get my blood pressure. Will I get my blood pressure and weight under control? Next question. Example that people may ask of the astrological dice. Am I going back to my old job? Next question. Can I make $1 million this year? And what will be most helpful to me? 10th example question. Will I be in a committed relationship this year? Next question. Am I going to go see my dad this year? And another example question is my advice helpful to my nephew? So Um, oh, we got a question. What is meant, what, Halito Johnson, Halito from your YouTube. Appreciate you being here. Phoenix Jean has a question. What is meant by hidden parent? Let's go look that up. Oh, famous Jean, my bad. I had to be here. All right, family and home, hidden parent. I don't see, and I would suggest maybe the parent who's not in the home or hidden, or the parent who don't be in the house on purpose. We talked about that a little bit earlier today in my other broadcast. The 12th house, a concealed area of astrology, often represents a hidden parent when the sun, moon, or Saturn is placed there. This could be due to the parent's illness or substantial secrets, rendering them invisible in your life. Okay. Over here is speaking on the absent parents, literally or metaphorically. Um, For example, if the moon is in the 12th house, it may depict a mother who was severely ill, unable to offer the emotional nurturing and security you needed. Even if she is still a part of your life, there might be a feeling of distance, a sense of inability to truly connect. The absence may shape your adult relationships, leaving you with an underdeveloped understanding of your primary needs. You may crave solitude, finding comfort in being alone as it feels familiar. Working with an absent parent represented by a planet in the 12th house means transforming the perceived void into a doorway of new experiences. Although you can't reclaim what your parent didn't provide, this absence can foster deep sensitivity, creativity, spirituality, and empathy in your life and partnerships. So that's a brief on that, because as we see, we could easily go into Pluto and the parental absence. Very good question. Very good question. Um, let's see. So, I was asking a question and I said I would make a decision on what I wanted to do next. So what I decided to do is, since no one has asked a question, I am going to ask a question. I am going to read the dice, cast the dice, and read them. So y'all gonna watch me. So back to the instructions for those who were not here. This is what we do according to the book. You concentrate on or speak aloud a particular question while holding the dice. Y'all hear me holding them? That's that hold it sound. So I'm holding them in my hand. Okay. I'm going to ask one of these questions that's in the book. Let's roll with, that's kind of general. Ooh, I don't know about that one. a question. Okay. What will be most helpful to me? That's my question. So I'm going to roll these dice. Pass the dice. What will be most helpful to me? Again, before I go this far, You want your own dice, contact Michael Coles. His email address, it's in the ticker below. Check that out. So, holding the dice in my hand, I'm about to cast these dice on a flat, level surface, and the symbol showing on top of the 3 dice contain the answer to my question. I'm going to look up the meaning of the 3 symbols on top of the dice to interpret my answer. We ready? So this is an example of a complex open-ended question. We rolling with this. All right, and my question was, what will be the most helpful to me? Where did I go? Green. Hold on, because I don't, you know what? Because people be like, oh, she changed the dice. It's a 6. Okay. Y'all's view that look like a 9, but it's sitting on that line, so it's a 6. So we are reading the planet first. Remember, the green dice first. So on my green dice, we have Saturn first. Now, this means going over to the Saturn page. There's a chart in here, and you read the chart for information. So is this going to be helpful to me? Okay. Saturn. Then I have Scorpio. That's Scorpio, the blue dice. And I'm going to go look that up. Scorpio 43. It's for all y'all. Now, some of y'all can freestyle and add on to your reading. But for today's demonstration, I am reading what's in the book. And I also have the 6th house. And then the 6th house. So, what's that? Okay. So, okay, I'm getting this together. Saturn, Scorpio, and the 6th house. So, Scorpio does not appear next to Pluto or Mars, which is its planetary rulers, which would make the quality of my answer enhanced. So, it's not next to Uranus, which would strengthen the answer multiplied. When it does not appear next to Venus or the moon, because then my answer would be diminished. So I'm feeling like I'm in a good place. What is most helpful to me? So most helpful to me, house in, okay, is my resourcefulness and my determination and my bravery and my passion. And then looking at, okay, did that. And then it means, okay. So that's my answer, my daily routines and my skills and training. So Amara, so that means stick with what I'm doing. That's what's most helpful to me. Yep, so I'm good. Okay, I can keep with what I'm doing. I just talked to someone today and they asked me to add on something similar to what I'm doing already, but in a book form. So everything sounds good over here. Again, I'm gonna read the back of this book, the back cover, and then we're gonna leave out of here. Introducing the astrological dice. And I'm going to put this up here because this is the book. Victoria Akins. Contact Michael Coles and get your copy. The back cover says, Introducing the Astrological Dice is the essential beginner's guide to fortune telling with astrological dice, or astrogalomancy. Astrogalomancy. Professional astrologer Victoria Akins introduces you to the essential legends of astrology and teaches you how to use astrological dice to answer critical questions and prognosticate future events. With this book, you will gain a deeper understanding of the mystical significance of the astrological symbols and their relationships. This book is a must have for astrological dice beginners. Victoria Akins is a professional astrologer, numerologist, and writer from New York City. She has a BA from Binghamton University and studies astrology with Oxford University. She offers workshops and lectures around the New York metropolitan area. As a gifted healer and ordained priestess, she has supported and counseled hundreds over the last several years. Her services also extend to holistic counseling, fitness coaching, and Reiki treatments. All right, and again, this is the beginner's guide to fortune telling with astrological dice. I am Joyous Rock from present day Indianapolis, Indiana. And I will see you all in my astrological series, A Sip of Astrology. And you all will be coming with the knowledge and understanding of today's presentation. And you will have your dice. That's your homework. I appreciate you all being here. And I'll see you next time.